Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. As always, it's me, the Smithie D. So today I have joining me Sir Loki. Sir Loki, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, Smithie. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm excited with this whole brand new concept, content, what you've got. You've took it to another level. At first, it was the Phase 3 Nihilus Rebel Tebow team. But what is your team now?
So it's the same team, but what I did was I removed the DPS of the team, which was Nihilus, and I replaced it with Bistan, with another Rebel. And that gives my team another chance at turn meter reduction.
And this is definitely a free-to-play team now, isn't it? It's not like the premium side that you had to have Nihilus before, but now it's pretty much all farmable characters.
Yeah, that's right.
What are the mods like with these characters? Are they quite deep? Are you needing deep mods for this to work?
Video you actually covered, which showcased the Nihilus team. I really didn't change the mods up much. I took the mods off Nihilus and I moved it over to Jyn. If you look at Bistan's kit, you look at his amped up, and that's his unique. And if that's fully maxed out, I believe it's level 7, Bistan gains 10% potency for each rebel ally and each debuffed enemy. So the important thing to notice here is upon entering the battle, you're already going to have 4 rebels on the team for each rebel ally. So the way I'm reading this, he's going to gain 30% potency off the bat. When Baze has taunt up and he's doing his retribution on all the B1 droids, he will land, hopefully land speed down on everybody. So Bistan will get another 10% for each
Debuffed enemy.
Yeah, debuffed enemy. So that's without mods, right?
Yeah.
But as insurance, I will load him up with a potency set. So that's all 6 are of the potency set, and then the potency cross and whatever potency secondary. So if I had to guess right now, my Bistan's probably about 220-ish speed, and probably has, without his unique buff, he will have anywhere from 70, maybe 60 to 70% potency. Is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, and that does sound really achievable, especially with Bistan. So, Tebow, I believe I remember your Tebow was around 83%, but he had some really, really high speed. So that 83% would be his potency, but his high speed was about 223, if I remember. Does he need to be that quick?
I would say over 200 would be good. And the reason being is because you obviously need him to take as many turns as he can, so he has chances to go stealth, because his leadership gives himself a chance to stealth and also gain turn meter right at the end of, I think it's at the end of his turn, he either gains 25% or whatever the turn meter is, and he grants that to the other allies. So yeah, you want him to keep going as fast as he can.
How have you modded Jyn? Is it the same as before?
Jyn, actually, I've taken a lot of the potency off of her. I probably only have anywhere from 10 to 20% potency, and I focused more on speed with her. So her speed now is probably, I think originally it was like 260 something, and maybe I bumped her up to about 270, but she has about, anywhere from like 10 to 20% potency, and that's because due to her unique, she gains potency for every critical she hits.
So it stacks, is that right?
That's the way I understand her, yeah. And you'll notice throughout the run that she does land her truncheon strike, and she does take away turn meter, and it gets easier and easier
as it goes along.
Correct, yeah, because she, her AoE, if you land all criticals with her AoE, if you hit all 7 guys, the B1s and the B2, that's 7 times it crit, right? And then she keeps stacking the potency. So I don't think she needs a lot of potency to start, not like Tebow or Bistan, who require it, they don't stack it. So
yeah, definitely. So she will gain over time from a crit, so it's mostly like kind of like crit chance that you want to kind of put on, because you want to be making sure she's getting them crits, trying to get that potency. That sounds amazing. So the kind of issue that you could have, is kind of like Bae's going to be in an auto taunt a lot, because you're going to have Sharut that's going to be giving those heals over times. So they're pretty much unkillable except for that main cannon that sits nicely at the back that you can't touch. It's like you can look at it, but you can't touch it.
Yeah, so he's going to continue gaining turn meter as you're kind of manipulating the B2's turn meter the whole time. So this kind of a team, there's a lot of stuff to watch out for. So we want Baze to ideally have the taunt right before that cannon takes its turn and fires the shot. Just in case you miss the taunt, you got to then make sure everybody else is buffed up, because if you look at the cannon's unique in raid note, all the enemies you're going to be going up against for phase, it does say if your ally is not buffed buffed up, then he does sustain unmeasurable damage. So Chirrut, one of his specials, he does grant tenacity up to everybody. He does give healing over time to everybody. So hopefully you got buffs up when that cannon goes off. You'll see in the video that a couple of my guys actually take a lot of damage, but they don't die. So it's because they had a buff up.
Yeah, that's it. And with them being rebels, the only one that you really have to watch out for is pretty much Jyn and T-Bow. Because if they die, it's pretty much game over. Is that
correct? Yeah, that is correct. I mean, at that point, then go ahead and retreat and try it again. But yeah, you need Jyn up. She can revive your other 3 rebels, and then hopefully T-Bow stealth a lot of the time, so he doesn't get hit or whatever. The one thing on the Nihilist one, and I've told a lot of other theory crafters that I chat with, is there's always going to be an end with that team. At some point, it's going to get, you can't reduce the turn meter anymore. You only got 2 main characters, which is Jyn and T-Bow, that could remove up to 100% turn meter, right?
Yeah.
And there's always an end to that. This new team that I'm trying to run now, I can see it as going further than the Nihilist team, but at the same time, it does a lot less damage throughout all the turns. But with a 3rd character that can remove up to 100% turn meter, I mean, that's huge right there.
So how many tries did this take you to do?
So this is officially my 2nd try at it. I shared a screenshot with you, Smithie, like a couple days ago. I think it was like 2.1 million. So for me and the mods that I have and those characters, I can consistently get, I can comfortably say anywhere from 1.8 to getting now, which is like 2.2 million. This particular run right here, if you watch it all the way to the end, you'll see that I mistimed the enraged timer, the fearsome foe timer countdown, and what had happened was the B2 actually did his AoE and it wiped out my whole team, so I didn't have a chance to pull out of the battle. But that's what I ended up with. Why I really like Bistan for this is, 1, he does have Frenzy, so it does 2 things. 1, it gives all of your team 20% turn meter off the bat, which is, it's kind of like Stormtrooper Han, right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he gets the buff. So any special that any other ally uses, he gains 100% turn meter, and then he's gonna reset the cooldown of Frenzy again. One thing to notice is his gunner tactics. You want that thing to keep resetting as fast as you can. So the ideal thing that I do in the timing I do is I get a gunner tactic off, right? Remove turn meter. Then when it's Bistan's turn again, do Frenzy. He's going to give 20% turn meter to everybody. And then it's going to take 3 special abilities to reset his gunner tactics again. So that's one of the strategies I try to follow. It's, it's kind of like a pattern, right?
Yeah.
You want to get that gunner tactic up as fast as you can. And the Frenzy helps a lot with that.
So for those free-to-play players out there, do you think this can be replicated even if it was at a lower score, maybe thrown in Stormtrooper Han? And the reason why I say Stormtrooper Han is Chirrut is more accessible now, but Baze is not. But Stormtrooper Han will give your team turn meter, so you may not need to have your entire team going really fast speeds as well. And it could solve that issue. Stormtrooper Han can also remove turn meter as well off the enemies as part of his unique. Following that, Chirrut would have a heal over time that you could put on him, but Jyn could also revive Stormtrooper Han. So essentially you could be looking at Stormtrooper Han getting his taunt up, dying, coming back to life, getting healed by Chirrut, and then all over again, and your team's just constantly getting turn meter. And you're just going to be then into a frenzy of constantly removing the B2. He would be counter-attacking, so he will be killing Han, but do you think this could work in the speed department? Because some of the mods, a 220 speed T-Bow is quite high. Even my T-Bow, I think, with my potency mods, and I've got him at 86% potency, and I've got him, I think I can only get him to like 177. So do you think it could be possible having Stormtrooper Han in the lineup? What's your thoughts, Loki?
So the only issue I see with Stormtrooper Han is his taunt is not easily, you can't easily proc the taunt. And what I mean by that is, if Chirrut gets hit by, if he gets hit by an attack and his health drops below 100%, then Baze, the taunt goes up on Baze right away. That's really important, because if you don't have the taunt up, then the hits are going to go somewhere else. They're going to attack Jyn, which, you pointed out is very important. She's got to stay alive. If she's not stealthed, or if somebody else has taunt up, she will get hit. And same thing with Bistan. You know, you don't want him to die. You don't want Tebow to die. So that would be my only concern. His taunt has a cooldown of 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, if you get the taunt up, you got 3 turns to do what you need to do. But then after that, you got to make sure you can get that taunt up before the tank goes off to protect your other allies. That would be my one concern. But those are great ideas in terms of the turn meter gain, kind of like what we see from the Chirpatine lid teams.
So, would you be willing to try this team with Stormtrooper Han instead of Baze to see how well it does?
Yeah, I can try it. You know, the Theorycraft sounds good. It would just be the only hard part is going to be timing that taunt.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'd love to try it though.
Even if it scores 1.1 million, 1.4 million, it would just be great because it sounds good on paper that it could potentially work and it could build a great rhythm, and most of all, it would be a great new team for the kind of like free to play, or the less spenders, or the unfortunate ones that haven't got, you know, like high speed mods and they've got some of these great characters. So it would be definitely great to see, just to watch it really, and just to see how it plays out.
Right. No, I mean, you know, you got 2 characters that can grant 20% turn meter on their special abilities. So, yeah, that's a big boost, and that's going to help a lot.
Definitely. So, are you happy to come back again for that video and we do another collab, just talking about how it worked out, like part 2, the revenge of Loki?
Definitely. I hope by then I can, you know, take off maybe 50% or something with the base team, and then we'll come back with the Han team and kind of do you know, a 2-for-1. So
yeah,
for
man.
the viewers.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good, man. A big thank you to Sir Loki today for making this content and joining me for this video. If you're not aware who Loki is, then check out his channel and the link is in the description below. He really does have some fantastic and great videos. So what is your thoughts? Do you want to see more of this? I am giving out a chance to come and hang with me in a video. To enter this, all you got to do is subscribe, like the video, and comment below with your all-time favourite Star Wars character, and the winner will be selected at random. But for now, thank you very much for watching. May the Force be with you always.